Yeah, people, they're nice, kind.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's alright.
You think you'll fit in okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Reassured, Richard then alerts Shabana to the real possibility that members of her family may now face serious charges.
Present moment in time, so we're setting that blood and urine off that was taken off you while you're at hospital to be forensically examined for any potential like toxins or substances that made you ill. Mm-hmm. If we find something, then we've been to the Crown Prosecution Service already and asked them what's the possibility of a prosecution, and they're saying if we do find something, they will be entertaining a prosecution against one or more family members. Okay. All right. You're still on board with that, I take it? Yeah.
Yeah. I get nightmares though.
Sorry?
I get nightmares. Seriously, I do. Like, you know, I don't know, like my mum's taking me somewhere else, my brother's with me, I don't know. Just stupid things. I can't sleep most of the time, but it just goes through my head, I don't know why.
Right. I think you're going to have to work through that.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, you're safe and well here.
Yeah.
Right. You are safe and well here. Okay. Well, love you and leave you.
Alright.
A few weeks later, the toxicology report arrives. Its findings will be crucial. It could reveal what caused Shabana's condition after she drank the hot, sweet milk.
We've got a statement back from a forensic scientist who's analysed the urine. There's 6 pages.
It confirms that there are traces of lorazepam, a powerful sedative.
This evidence is important because it supports what we believed from the very onset, that she was administered a substance to render her unfit to basically subdue her. For what purpose we still don't know, but that confirms our suspicions from the onset. Putting a sleeping tablet, a prescription medication into somebody's drink, yeah, it is a desperate act.
The toxicology report states that this drug is a prescription drug. It's not something you can find, you know, or put into a drink sort of by accident. It's something that's been placed there. We don't know what was going to happen to her. If the officer hadn't have gone at that point, if they hadn't have been able to catch hold of the car, we don't know where the vehicle was heading. And that is what is, you know, worrying for certainly the investigating officers, and why I feel that she had a very, very, very lucky escape.
It's time for Richard to update the Crown Prosecution Service on latest developments.
Brothers then sort of got involved, and
the lawyers have to assess the strength of the case.
And the villain of the piece is the Shamres car.
The bottom line is, from the family's point of view, this is a question of honour, and it's been made clear. You know, the disrespecting the family is an honour type situation, isn't it? I don't think there's any dispute about that.
No.
It's about the family honour and her doing things that are not consistent with where they see the family going with whatever. So we're fairly clear on that.
That's these are photographs of this.
Richard briefs the lawyers on how Shabana's brother had climbed through the kitchen window of her house while she was away, and how Shabana's belongings were taken.
At this point, Mum and brother start sort of collecting all
her personal belongings.
All her stuff, yeah. Everything that's there that's belonging to her, and also crucially a passport and a marriage certificate.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Which means control.
A lot of control, yeah.
Well, we're not talking about an old burglary here, are we?
No.
What we're talking about is this behaviour is just part of the same thing.
Yeah, to control her.
Yeah.
So whether or not we go for burglary at the end of the day, if we're satisfied about the evidence, is another matter, isn't it? It's probably really just all part of the same incident, which is basically what we're saying, is that it looks like they're conspiring to kidnap her, aren't they? And imprison her. That's what basically we're saying, aren't we?
Whichever way you look at this case, it seems to be a runner. It's something where we would be looking to build it. it's destined for the Crown Court. Okay.
Thank you.
After further investigations, the police bring all 5 members of the family back for formal charging for kidnap, false imprisonment and administering the drug lorazepam.
You're charged with the offences shown below.
Even though Shabana has said she trusts her sister, Saima, she is still charged.
Call you Mohammed, is that okay? Or?
Her father, Mohammed, is still baffled by what is happening.
Do you want to make any reply to the charges?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Her brother, Shamrez Khan, wants more detail of the charges.
Shamrez, this is actually a joint charge with your other family members that appears today, okay? Do you want to make any reply to the charges?
So it's namely false imprisonment, where you kept somebody in an area against their will. That was actually kidnapped, removed, that's actually moving someone from one place to another. Okay, so he's asking if you have any reply to make.
No comment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you must attend court on that date. If you don't, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest. Alright?
Her mother, Shamim Akhtar, who helped collect Shabana's belongings, also faces charges. And finally, Shabana's brother-in-law, Zahid Mahmood, is called forward. He stated that Shabana's brother told him he had given her sedatives.
You'll be charged with 4 offences, Zahid, okay? And released on bail to appear at court.
In a later statement, he said he couldn't be certain about what he said. But now it's time for a jury to decide who and what to believe.
I don't think they're expecting the seriousness of the charges. Obviously, they were informed prior to attending the police station this morning via their solicitors that they were facing charges, but we didn't tell them the nature of the offences of which they were going to be charged. Yeah, I think it took the wind out of the sails, really. Anyone that is facing any one of them particular charges will be automatically going to Crown Court. They're indictable-only offences, quite serious offences. Each of them carries a life sentence, potentially. Obviously, in this case, it would obviously be up to a judge to decide the relevant sentences should they be found guilty. And the next protocol is court. Right, I'll see you out. Okay.
When the case comes to its full trial, the 5 defendants arrive to face their peers on the jury. For the police, just getting legal proceedings started is an achievement in itself because of the pressures such accusations put on families.
Most people who are in her situation or similar situations don't want to attend court and don't want to effectively send their family to prison. The thought of that and criminalising them is a very difficult choice to make.
For the number of investigations we do in relation to forced marriages, very few actually come to court, because before we get to that stage, before we go and do a prosecution with the Crown Prosecution Service, many of the victims want to withdraw.
The court allows Shabana to give her evidence from behind a screen, so she is hidden from her family's view. Even so, the whole thing is a tremendous ordeal.
This young lady has been waiting 2 years for the trial, and she spent the last 2 years coming to terms with the fact that the people closest to her could harm her and wanted to harm her. So it's been a difficult time for her, trying to rebuild a life, but also knowing that at some point she'd have to give evidence against her family. She did say that she just got used to not hearing her family's voice, her sisters, her mum and dad, just general family life. And now she has to see or hear them again, and hearing the voices in the corridor was very difficult for her. It brought her other life back to her, and she was really upset about that.
All 5 family members plead not guilty to the charges of kidnap, false imprisonment and administering a drug. But Shabana's brother and brother-in-law changed their pleas to guilty during the proceedings. After nearly 3 weeks, her mother is also found guilty. But Shabana's sister and her father are acquitted on all charges. The police pass on the news of the convictions to Shabana.
When we spoke to her afterwards, she said it was perhaps one of the worst times of her life. Ultimately, what she wants to come out of it is, it shouldn't have happened to me, and I don't want it to happen to anybody else.
After being declared innocent, Shabana's sister gives her reaction through her barrister.
This is also a very tragic day as far as she's concerned, because not only has she been exonerated, but members of her family have now found themselves in custody, facing very serious charges and likely prison sentences. The family are divided. Hopefully in the future there will be a possibility of some form of reconciliation between the sisters.
Shabana's father too reveals his feelings and how the trial has split the family apart.
I strongly condemn the acts of my family members for any wrongdoing, and they should be punished for that. And also want to say that I'm against any sort of force used against your daughters to get them married against their will. Thank you very much.
What do you think about your daughter?
I'm no comments. Yeah, I think.
Say anything to your daughter?
Do you want to say anything to your daughter?
Well, still miss her. Can't express. How can I forget her? But she forgot me. I don't know why, how. I miss her, and I love her.
For Shabana, the end of the trial is not an end to the hurt. But even before the trauma of the trial itself, she recognised it could be the beginning of a new life. A life perhaps without her family.
I can't imagine my life without running away and back in that family, living the life like I was, because I wasn't going nowhere. And what's happened now has happened because they've made it happen.
She's sort of torn between the love for her family and what has happened to her. And that is part of the sort of process, the healing process that she's going through.
I've got no feelings left, if you know what I mean. Like, what's happened has happened, and I would just like want to let go, forget I ever had a family, if that's the way it has to be now.
For details of organisations which offer advice and support, go online to bbc.co.uk/actionline or call the BBC Action Line to hear recorded information on 08000 680 133. Lines are open 24 hours and are free from a landline. Mobile operators will charge.
All right.
A few weeks later, the toxicology report arrives. Its findings will be crucial. It could reveal what caused Shabana's condition after she drank the hot, sweet milk.
We've got a statement back from a forensic scientist who's analysed the use that made you ill. If we find something, then we've been to the Crown Prosecution Service already and asked them what's the possibility of a prosecution, and they're saying if we do find something, they will be entertaining a prosecution against one or more family members. Okay. All right. You're still on board with that, I take it? Yeah.
Yeah. I get
urine. 6 pages.
It confirms that there are traces of lorazepam, a powerful sedative.
This evidence is important because it supports what we believed from the very onset that she was administered a substance to render her unfit to basically.
Yeah, people, they're nice, kind.
Okay.
So yeah, it's alright.
You think you'll fit in okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reassured, Richard then alerts Shabana to the real possibility that members of her family may now face serious charges.
Present moment in time, so we sent that blood and urine off that was taken off you while you're at hospital to be forensically examined for any potential like toxins or substances.
Nightmares though.
Sorry?
I get nightmares. Seriously, I do. Like, you know, I don't know, like my mum's taking me somewhere else, my brother's with me, I don't know. Just stupid things. I can't sleep most of the time, but it just goes through my head, I don't know why.
Right. I think you're going to have to work through that.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, you're safe and well here.
Yeah.
Right. You are safe and well here. Okay. Well, love you, lady.